Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this special video showcase we're going to be returning again to the Marvel UK Transformers comic. These are now already 36 years old, so what we're going to do for the first part, I'm just going to flick through it, quick overview, have a look and point out at any funny things or things that will remind us of the time back then. And then afterwards I'm going to slowly go through all the comic strip, so you may have to pause it, you may have to zoom in, but you can then actually read the comics for yourself. So this is a great opportunity if you've not seen these before, or if you, as I say, they weren't available in your particular country. This is the UK version. I know that they did a crossover with quite a few of the American comics, but they did a load of their own stories as well. As I've already mentioned, these are 36 years old starting, and this one is just about there. So this is issue 7, and it came out in the middle of December, and it was fortnightly at the time. They weren't weekly yet, they were fortnightly to start off with. And as I say, this is number 7. So this is gearing up, ready for the final part. And it's called the Autobots Last Stand. So if we turn it over, it is in black and white and in colour. Now don't worry, when we get to the actual story part, I've got this book here, which means that you can see everything in colour. So I will be referring to that book when we come to actually do the comic bit itself. So we've got a nice Autobot fact file of Bumblebee there. We got some more drawings. There's quite a few of them in this actually. And then we've got some news. Pen pals, remember them? Pen pals, that's what they used to have, obviously. And here we go, here's the start of the story. But as I say, I'm going to go through this much slower and in much more detail once I've just given a quick overview of the comic. I presume that they did half colour and half black and white just to save costs at the time, with this being a rather new comic and they weren't too sure of the popularity and if it was going to take off. And obviously it did really well, because they did, I think it was 332 issues in total. Look at this though, we've got an advert for Caravan of Courage, the new Ewok adventure that came out in Odeon at that particular time of year. Wow, Friday December 14th, Caravan of Courage. More of the story here. And again, for some reason, there's a little bit of colour, but not very much. And then here's some amazing drawings. To be fair, that one is very good, whoever did that. So they're really getting reader interaction now with these comics. Indiana Jones, oh, an interview with Harrison Ford there, very young. More of the comic, that's just where that part ends. And then this is the second strip that they were running in the UK at the time. It was called Machine Man. And I'm not going to again spend too much time on that. They did do quite a bit of this. This seems to have more colour. And then they do a robot roundup. They've done this since issue 1. Again, I've mentioned with the popularity that robots were having in the early 80s with the Transformers and the droids from Star Wars and Doctor Who, etc. They just jumped on the bandwagon, and obviously it worked because they kept it in anyway. That's 7 weeks in a row that's been in. And then we've got your last copy, issue number 8, sorry, the final of The Last Stand. And then finally with this, we've got the advert for the toys. Unfortunately, there's no prices on them, but for you guys who may be aware, this is all Wave 1 of the Transformers Generation 1 figures, and it's just the Autobots, so you've got the Autobot cars there. Okay, now I'm going to move on to the actual story, and I'm going to be nice and quiet, and you guys can then take advantage and read all of this yourselves. So here we go. Oops, sorry. Right then, so that brings us up to where the end of this particular comic is. For those of you who don't know, that the UK, I've mentioned this in the other videos, but I'll tell you now at the end, that the UK took the first 4 US comics and then they made them into 8. So they split them up to get to spread them across 8 issues. So that's why, if you're unsure, it seems a bit smaller, or if you're a US viewer and you're thinking I've seen that in an earlier issue, but that's what the story is. So as I say, next one I'll be doing is issue 8, and then after issue 8 you've got all the UK exclusive stories that we had as well. They do tie in some more of the US stories as well in the later issues, but the UK exclusive stories start at the very end of the next issue. So hope you enjoyed it, hope it's still working. Again, apologies for the camera not being super steady all the time, but you use your pause and your zoom, you can still read it. So keep your comments coming in and I'll keep doing this. Hope you're enjoying it. Take care.